It is fucking time. The Elden Ring DLC. See that in the bottom right there? You see a shadow of the Erdtree? Oh my goodness. Shadow of the Erdtree is finally here. To start this off, you actually have to go to Mohg's Palace, and for some reason, two of the requirements is you have to have beat Radahn and you have to beat Mohg. I knew that coming into this because I already knew you had to touch this hand in order to get into the new area, so I had already beat Mohg. Keep that in mind if you go to buys. You have to play through the game and actually get to Mohg's Palace, kill him, and then you can go into the new area. Damn, why is she kinda, or he kinda, I can't tell. Is that a boy or girl? Thanks to Elisa, we are actually able to play this. So we're going to speak to Old Miss right here, and then we're starting it.
Touch the withered arm and travel to the realm of shadow. I will not be far behind. May we meet again.
Head to the realm of shadow. No cutscene? Okay. I have a little bit of a diss track, dude. That shit is mid. The no cutscene kills me. Oh my god. I've been waiting for so long for this, and I've beat the game solo 3 times in a row for preparation of this. As you've seen in my previous Elden Ring videos. I've actually done the Frenzied Flame ending since I've done those videos, so yes, I've done 3 endings. I've done the Ranni ending, the normal, traditional ending, and then I've done Frenzied Flame, which is I'm on currently. I've got a level 223 magic build, so I was rocking that, hoping that the DLC would be easier. Boy, was I wrong. The first fight you get into from the start is this Black Evergaol, or this Black Gaul Knight, I guess his name is. I'm fucking jump attack. It took me easily an hour. And that's me, sitting there having to talk to my Twitch chat, YouTube chat, etc., trying to figure out what I needed to do. He is so fast, so if you do PvP, you'll probably just stomp this guy immediately, but I don't. It was really hard for me because I couldn't really use my spells, and me being a magic build, it was hard to get the timing right. I didn't have time to cast spells, all Wizard Shadow Money Gang on his ass. So I ended up beating him with Old Reliable. Bloodhound's Fang. The timing is extremely specific. But in this fight, if you're really careful, you can do your Bloodhound step as he's rushing you to attack, and it'll actually cancel his swing. It took all of my flask and all of my happiness to do it, but I actually completed it, so I'm proud of that. I actually started shaking after beating him because I was so excited, because he wasn't even as bad as Dancing Lion, who I actually fought first. So the Black Gold Knight fight was actually later on in the game after I had already discovered a little bit, because I had already fought Lion up to this point. So I'm going to go back in time.
Lady Leda spoke of you. You're that tarnished. Guided here by kindly Mikola. Won't we all? I'm Freya. I once fought alongside General Radahn. In battle, you can be sure I'll hold my own.
Whatever.
Did you speak to our dour little friend? If you've yet to do so, have him give you a map of the Cross's whereabouts. You'll find more of them dotted about these lands. They are Mikola the Kind's footprints.
So there are these little markers, I'll call them. I don't really know. They're called Mikola's crosses, and they're everywhere throughout the map. So at all of them are these little sacred shattered pieces, I guess you will call them. And they basically give you a little bit of a buff. They make you more strong, or they make you negate damage a little bit better, just in general. It's like leveling up, but in this DLC, because it doesn't matter what level you are, really. As long as you have a decent bit of those, I think that's what kind of makes it a little easier for you. It doesn't matter what level you are, as long as you have plenty of these. So you're going to pick them up throughout the map, and you find them all at these crosses, and most of these crosses have this little interaction thing where you can read under the crosses, and they'll say, it's Mikola speaking, and she's saying, oh, this is my eye, this is where I first shed my skin, things like that. So you're finding pretty much pieces of her body, I guess, but you're getting power from. I don't really know how it works just yet. I thought it was something I would include. Then goes the lion fight. When you're going up to the boss room for the lion, you have to go through these spider-scorpion mixtures, and it freaked me out so bad. I don't like them. I don't like them. I'm not even that bad scared of spiders, but for some reason, I guess when they're the size of a house, it freaked me out a little bit.
Ominous. Is that a fucking spider? Oh my god, that is the freakiest shit I've ever ran into in this game ever. Get out of here. Oh, there's the babies. There's so many.
The only way to help with these little baby scorpion spider mixtures is an area attack, which I used the Ice Storm, which it really worked pretty well. But I recommend bringing like the Elden Beast Sword or something, because I don't like it. There were so many of them. The Dancing Lion is easily the coolest boss fight in Elden Ring to me.
Oh, cutscene. Hi, Evan.
O horn-decked beast from higher sphere delivered, take root inside the tower's sculpted keepers, and perched within, we beg of thee, rise. Dance and kavod, cleanse all that go with cruelty, woe, and those who plague the tower. Cleanse away the strumpet's vile progeny.
Holy shit, that's terrifying. His moveset is so unique and his aura is just unmatched, alright? Look, I'm a big fan of all the other bosses, but I've truly never seen a boss like him. You know, sometimes you can correlate all the bosses in Elden Ring kind of to each other, or they kind of match someone else, but he doesn't. He's got the most unique feeling from any Dark Souls game I've seen. So, forgive me, I haven't seen all of them, but he's really sick, let alone it be in a DLC. This DLC may be $40, but honestly, it's worth every penny, because this damn well could have been Elden Ring 2. His second phase goes really crazy, really fast. He starts becoming this electricity god, I guess you would say. You know, the lame little spinning move he does with his dirt, just spewing dirt on you like some concrete mixer. It turns into lightning, which, again, he gets terrifying. He kind of reminds me of the Beast Clergyman into Malekith, but not as intense. Malekith is a drastic change, and don't get me wrong, the Dancing Lion gets insane, but not that big of a difference. When he hits second phase, he's extremely strong. It feels like all these bosses become, like, their resistance changes to certain things, because it feels like the first phase it'll be doing really good damage on something, and the second phase it won't do any damage to him. I was kind of using Blasphemous Blade so my Mimic could heal himself, I could heal myself, and then, again, the AI was helping me a pretty good bit. I don't feel guilty using summons. This is my first walkthrough of the game, and I just wanted to have fun. Hold me accountable. I don't care. Playing the game for fun, brother. He kind of reminds me of the big sheep-looking things from Avatar? You know how they kind of walk around all silly? When he's jumping and flowing through the air and how he kind of moves, it reminds me of them. And I don't know why. Again, it just adds like a cool little element to it. The map is massive to start. It's got so many levels to it and so much stuff to explore. I see why people say Dark Souls DLCs are what DLCs are supposed to be. This is basically Elden Ring 2. Once I was done with the Dancing Lion exploring the map, I found this bitch. Relina? I'll call her Relish. Relish is like a combination of all the badass Elden Ring bosses you've seen in the game so far. She has powers from a little bit of everybody. She reminds me a lot of Loretta without the horse. She absolutely has a hint of Melania, as I joke in the first fight I did with her. You don't look fun. You look like Melania's little cousin. She absolutely has a hint of Melania, as I joke in the first fight, and I got 3-pieced with a soda. So, she has a 3-round burst, Renala's Dark Moon spell, or whatever it is.
She's not gonna get stunned for like an hour now. Yeah, see, she's the full moon queen too. We're shit on.
How are you supposed to dodge that? She is insanely fun to fight with the Mimic, and Letta, I believe her name is, helping you. I have yet to beat her, and again, she has this cool Darth Revan second phase to her where she If you're a fan of Star Wars, she has a red lightsaber and a blue lightsaber, but it's just her swords. One has a fire and one has like ice or some magic enchantment on it or whatever. It's extremely difficult. She is extremely fast-paced, and she also uses magic while being like a dex. So she'll put a spell over her head with the arrows aiming at you, and then she'll just come flying at you with, you know, Melania's like flurry, I like to call it. It's the same thing, basically. She's extremely hard to dodge, and my recommendation is be a light build for this. You'll save yourself a lot of time if you're a light build to dodge her attacks. It's extremely difficult. She also has this really cool sword spell that she's using like the Carrion Knight sword spell, but it reaches across her entire arena. It's extremely hard to dodge in itself. She is such a cool fight. She's insanely fun to fight, and it's absolutely beautiful. Her arena's not really cool, but again, it reminds me of Loretta. The ghost of Loretta, excuse me, not the real one. The one right before you go to Ronnie's castle. This DLC in general is absolutely beautiful, just for the fact of it feels like you're walking around in a wallpaper. Like you're constantly in a cover art shot. Like everything feels like, it looks like you could just take a screenshot every 10 seconds and you would get a new wallpaper for your computer every minute. It's perfect. Speaking of cover art, this fart smeller, he was in the cover art for the DLC. I call him Candlehead. He slaughtered me like 20 times. He's extremely slow, and he doesn't do an insane amount of damage, but here's the thing. He has like 900,000 health. I wanted to kill him off the rip just to be different than everybody else I've been seeing play the game so far, and I don't know why Elden Ring had to do me like this, because it didn't happen. He has the most lame moveset on the planet, except for when he grabs you and throws you in his little bucket and spins you around. I don't have any footage of that, so forgive me, but yeah, it didn't go great. He's cool, but I mean, he's just a candle. And really difficult candle. Like he's like those candles you can't blow out kind of thing. There is a lot of invaders I've run into so far just exploring. I've run into like 2 or 3, and they don't really give you anything cool. There was a little bell to shoot down off a rope, and then you got like a somber smithing stone, which was cool, but that's the only thing I can think of that I've got from an invader. I ran into Timothy Chalamet in my own time playing it, but beyond that, I have no idea. The invaders just kind of suck, and I never beat this invader because I was too lazy and I just didn't want to run all the way back to fight him. So he might give you something. I haven't got anything cool from the invaders so far. Moving on from that, I was exploring my first cave, and this is the first time that I've got really mad at From Software. They reused the magma worm, which that is my biggest issue with From Software sometimes, is that they can overdo the reusing of bosses. Like, I fought the magma worm 8 times in different areas all throughout Elden Ring. I do not want to fight him again in the DLC. I hate when they reuse stuff constantly, and I understand this is only a DLC, but I think they shouldn't reuse bosses from the normal Elden Ring just to fill in space. I'd literally rather them not have that room in that cave, or again, make that room just have a item you can pick up in it instead of adding that boss. Because the more bosses, the better, but new bosses. If you want to reuse a boss, use the cool ones that we actually really liked. I wasn't crazy about the magma worm, let alone do I want to see him for the 5th or 6th time in the game. I don't want to run into him anymore. The ones I want to see reused is like maybe Estelle or something. Like Estelle made me like break things. So use something that's actually difficult but fun to fight. That's what I want to see reused. Not that. Even reuse the lion. I loved the lion fight from this DLC. It just really disappointed me. It didn't make me angry with them. I still love them and they did amazing on this DLC, but it disappointed me a lot. All in all, I do want to say, I still have a lot to do in the game, so forgive me. I'm missing a lot, but this is just a video on my first impressions. I wanted to shoot you guys a video ASAP, so I just made this kind of throwing it together, and there's a lot to do. I don't know how many bosses exactly are in this DLC, and I don't know if I'll get all to them in the next video, or it'll be 3 videos, or it'll be 18 videos. I don't know how big it is, because this DLC is massive. But if you want to see more, leave a like down below, leave a comment, drop your opinions on the DLC, and yeah, that's all. So, goodbye.